Oh yeah, today's shirt. You want to feel like a lion, you gotta dress like a lion. Today's pair of shoes. Since we're wearing a lion shirt, we might as well wear some Puma shoes. Hey guys. So last night I worked in Ojai, and I told you I was going to be there, so it was going to be kind of like a weird vlog yesterday. But I went and worked in Ojai, and it was actually what it turned out to be. And I knew it before. It was a surprise birthday party for the actor Jon Bernthal. He's a pretty A-list guy. I mean, he was in Grudge Match and The Walking Dead, and he's just in tons and tons of stuff now. And we have a very good mutual friend, guy that he's on Young and the Restless. His name's Sean Kerrigan. He plays Stitch. He's a friend of mine. He's a really good friend of John's. And so that was like a weird situation for me last night because I didn't know Sean's schedule. I didn't know if he was in town, but I knew if he was in town, he would probably make that drive an hour and a half out there to go to the party because I knew that he had told me they were really good friends. And so that put me in a little bit of a weird situation because being somebody trying to make it in the film industry and just a creative person, it's kind of humbling having to work like catering parties and doing stuff like that. I mean, you have to get by. I have to get by. Obviously, like nobody's gonna fault me for that, but there's always that moment where you're like, I wish I were on the other side of this. I wish I didn't have to work. I wish whatever. And part of me felt like, well, if my friend Sean's there, that's gonna make me feel even worse because like, not that I think he'd big time me or anything, actually, like, the opposite. I didn't think he would. I knew he would say hi or whatever, but just that weird moment where I can't be a part of the party and I'm working and he was there, and as soon as he saw me, he got like the biggest grin on his face and like rushed right over and gave me a bunch of bear hugs and like was like, "Oh, Jordan, it's so good to see you, man. You got to meet John. Do you know John? Like, I want to take you over." And I was actually, truth be told, to you guys and to him, was that before the party even started, this is how much of a class act Jon Bernthal is. He actually went around to every single person that was working at his party before anybody else showed up, and he made sure that he introduced himself, shook everybody's hand, and thanked everybody for being there. So, I mean, I knew this guy was a class act, but like I said, I was just a little bit embarrassed to be on the side of working and not an attendee. And that totally went away because Sean immediately wanted to introduce me to his girlfriend. He was telling, he just couldn't be more excited. He's like, "This is my friend Jordan. We do comedy together. We know each other from the Comedy Store. His mom's a huge fan of mine, and she's like the sweetest person. She Twitters me," and I mean, he couldn't have been nicer. And that went on through the whole night. Anytime he passed me, he would go, "Jordan, I want you to meet this guy," and he would take me over and introduce me to somebody. And it was pretty cool because, like I said, Jon Bernthal had introduced himself to everybody there. So I was like, "You don't have to like introduce me or anything. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't want to, like multiple introductions feeling weird." And Sean's like, "No, man, come on. I want to introduce you to him. I want him to know you're my boy." And he took me over there, and he's like, "John, this is my friend Jordan. We do comedy together. We hang out at the Comedy Store." And John's face lights up, and he's like, "Any friend of Sean's a friend of mine, man. This guy's my brother." And they like hug each other, and he's just like, "Dude, so nice to meet you. Like, comedy's such a hard thing," and just couldn't have been a nicer guy. And in fact, when we brought his cake out and everything, he did a little bit of a speech, and one of the things he said was, he's like, "Without my wife, I would be nothing," because she was literally going to see me in plays when there were more people on stage than there were in the audience, and here we are today. So I would be nothing without her. So it was just one of those moments for me last night where I actually felt really good at the end of the night, and so much so that Sean was even like, "Dude, do you want to ride back to LA with us or whatever?" And I'm like, I had ridden with the company I was working with, so, and my car was parked, not where Sean lives. So I just thought it was pretty cool that a guy who has a lot going and is really making it. Like, he didn't big time me or anything when my career is not going as well. You know, it will. I know it will. You know, there's just one. It's one of those things that you just gotta struggle until you make it. And here's the coffee selection for today. This is probably my favorite so far. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside the Canyon Country store and show you guys this. This is well, this is our spot today. We're in Laurel Canyon, and this is like the main grocery store that all the artists in Laurel Canyon use to buy their groceries. You'll see a lot of people here, but actually our real destination is right directly behind the canyon store. Pretty cool. All these pictures that are surrounding it are of all the residents that shop here. Looks like they do like a photo every year, every couple of years, and they gather in front of the store to do it. It's a real community. It literally surrounds the entire place. Cool little signs too. Handmade. Now on the right below this and onto the side is actually a really great Italian restaurant that I've eaten at before. Only one time, but it was amazing. Coffee stand out front. It's pretty cool decorations. Everything's art here. The entire store. Good girl, good girl. They love dogs. Now we're gonna leave the store and we're gonna go down. This is the restaurant I was telling you guys about. Pretty cool little place. Like I said, it's really good too. Really good. I don't know why I haven't been back. Parking's kind of a problem down here, but anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you can actually see our next stop right here. No, I'm not showing you a laundromat. No. And I'm not showing you the school, which is pretty cool. Check out that sign up there on the school. Well, it's not actually school, that's just how they're decorating the side of this building, but it's pretty cool anyway. Our next destination is actually right over here. Right here. This is the house on Love Street. Yep. This is Jim Morrison's house. This is the most famous house on this block, probably. A lot of famous people have lived here, but this was what they call the only moment in Jim Morrison's life where he attempted to domesticate himself. And he lived here for several years. He did the entire Waiting on the Sun album here, LA Woman, and in fact the guy that owns it now is a model who has completely restored the place. It had burned down at one point, and or not burned down, but burned up. And he went through an arduous process of renovating it and trying to get back as close as it was to when Jim Morrison lived there. And in fact, they say that, I've seen pictures online, that there's original writing of poetry on the bathroom walls down there that's still there. The guy who lives here has original song lyrics and lineup notes and different things from the Waiting on the Sun album that were all created and written here. It's pretty cool. Jim Morrison's house on Love Street. If you watch the Doors movie, this was the house that he was living in with Pamela, in which most of the movie takes place. And you just have to know that since there's only really 3 things in the vicinity of this place, and it really hasn't changed, that store has always been there. Here's the Laurel Canyon Laundromat, and then the restaurant, of course. So you know he had to be going to those places. They're right at the foot of the residence. So, pretty cool. And this is kind of the back fence area of the parking for the Canyon store. And you can definitely tell that I wasn't lying, because if you look right there, Riders, Storm, coincidence? I don't know. It's a back view of the store. Look at that tree. Wow. Perfect for this place. Anyway, I hope you guys dug Jim Morrison's house. Just trying to bring you interesting things that I'm interested in. So, on to our next stop. Well, do you guys remember the other day when I was doing the Houdini Mansion vlog and I showed you guys that tunnel that went underneath Laurel Canyon that they said, and it was connected in Led Zeppelin connected to Led Zeppelin's house? Well, I just found out that's actually after Led Zeppelin was staying there. It was Frank Zappa's house for years till he died, and we couldn't really see much because it's covered up with brush and everything now. But yeah, right directly across the street from Houdini's mansion, the 2400, it was 2401, which was Frank Zappa's house. Pretty cool. And that was a pretty good looking salad, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, now we're going to Oliveira Street. It's a traditional Mexican little strip downtown. Walk through it since we're down here. Kind of like Little Mexico. You can buy, like I said, traditional bandolier stuff and bullfighting. Lots of Dia de los Muertos stuff. And Frida Kahlo. They love Frida Kahlo. All the Mexican candy, sandals. See, I do love this about it, is that the architecture down here is just awesome. This area has been like this forever. I'm just gonna basically just walk. It's just a little alleyway kind of deal. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through the courtyard. Let you guys see what's out here. A lot of times they have mariachi bands out here performing, and it's a big restaurant. So, pretty cool. Nice little area to hang out on a weekend or just come shopping. I'm guessing that's Trump. I'm guessing he's popular around here. This place is pretty cool. You can get your custom leathers here. Belts and hats and purses and stuff. Pretty neat. Doesn't really match the stuff I have in my place, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. If it's your thing, come here. And if you need crucifixes, that's your place also. If you need a luchador mask, you can get that down here. Lots and lots of luchador masks. See? Lots and lots of luchador masks. I think that's La Parka. They're supposed to be. You guys all might be surprised to know that is one of the few things in the world that I do not own, is a luchador mask. Yeah, Cheech and Chong, Los Doyers, Baseball. More luchador masks. Oh yeah, we're getting to the Mexican Square. Ooh, I can get my name on a guitar. That's 6 strings, it's not even a ukulele. That's a pretty traditional Mexican restaurant. Oh yeah, things are hopping here. And if you want your picture on top of the burro, there you can take it. And that's the restaurant that we walked past. And you know there's no way I'm leaving without getting this on film. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the tour of this street. Back to Oliveira Street. I'm betting you anything. Which, this is pretty awesome, actually. It's a very religious culture. See? Calle Olvera. This is Olvera Street. We're going back. We'll take one more little jaunt through. If you're in Los Angeles and you're looking for traditional Mexican attire, this is your spot. Between this stop and our trip out to Laurel Canyon for the Canyon store and Jim Morrison, I think you've got about as much color explosion in your life as you can handle today. But I could be wrong. Ooh, Cowboys parka. I didn't see a Bengals one, Papa. I'm sorry. That was Spanish. Now we're pretty much coming to the end. There's an indoor. Actually, we're gonna go in here real quick. Some guys rehearsing, and I want to use the bathroom. All right. One of the few places in all of Los Angeles you can use a public bathroom, so gotta take that. I've been out walking around all day. I haven't got a chance to use it. So we're pretty much back to the end. It's a pretty cool little fountain here, but other than that, guys, you've pretty much seen everything. And if any of my family members see anything they want here for their birthday, since one of them has a birthday, actually when this is coming out, it would be yesterday, let me know. And this is the most famous restaurant in the whole place. Everybody eats here. When I got here, it was pretty packed. Adios, Olvera Street. One last thing before we go, since I just saw this. I didn't know about this monument. Wow.